Alright, so we got a game. We have a game here. Grand Matzer against Boom Boom Boo. So, Boom Boom Boo, this is the board 2 for ASU. They are undefeated so far, 4-0 here in Division 3, so definitely one of the stronger teams in the division. MIT had a big comeback win yesterday against Cornell to get here, so finals match. This is the last match of the season for both of these teams. Hello, Flying Sheep. Good to see you. So yeah, this is the first game out of the 4 rounds. This is the first round. So MIT was down 3.5 out of 4, and it managed to come back. So even if they get down here, they're definitely capable of coming back, as they've shown before. Here we just got simple castles. White continuing developing, also looking to castle as well. Black has an opportunity to take here, make the bishop move twice, but I don't think that's too much of an issue. Black here, on the other hand, might push for c5 in this position, although that is kind of awkward when you have this bishop pinning the knight to the queen. So if pawn takes, bishop would retake, and then maybe somehow white could try to take advantage of this fact, but I don't think there's anything right now. But you know, there could be tactics later on, so maybe knight to d7 first could be in preparation of a move like c5. White then themselves could play c5. How would one go about starting a chess league? Well, you gotta think of who's going to be in the chess league, right? Who are your players going to be, I guess. And then you have to reach out to them, contact them, make sure they're all on board. And then one lek. Let's go ASU. Good to see the Sun Devils are supporting their team. So they actually had a bye week last week as they clinched the final spot, actually taking down Cornell, I believe. And then this MIT team also took down Cornell. So that Cornell B team, pretty good. The only 2 losses of the season they had were against both of these 2 teams. So the 1 and 2 team, who's going to be who, we'll find out after this match. All right, so we do see D takes C, and this bishop has taken twice. Now the knight develops to C6. This bishop's going to have to figure out where it wants to go. Maybe a move like B5 here. Played, and now bishop to b7, very logical, getting on this long diagonal. This bishop, maybe it's going to stay back, or it's going to go back to where it was. Either way, I think white eventually is going to try to get some sort of battery along this diagonal. Nope. Okay, so all the way back to e2. Definitely one of the more passive options. White now maybe rook to c1 makes a lot of sense. Kevin's good for the Sun Devils as well. So yeah, they are a Pac-12 school, so maybe there's some sort of connection. But I wonder if Kevin was rooting for MITB last time. Maybe a little bit of inconsistency, but that's okay. At least he's rooting for someone, and he's showing his support in the chat, so definitely gotta appreciate it. So I'm only seeing 2 games. Maybe I'm not following all of them. I don't see Mahi 5-5 from ASU, which could be an issue. Board 3 and 4 are Hunter and Jordan. Well, this is news to me. Okay. One second, folks. Let me move this so that you guys don't see anything. Okay. 1 second. I am MIT B board 2. we're having some sort of dispute on the ordering of the boards apparently. Okay, so there's gonna be an issue. Okay, so I'm also not sure if they're trying to substitute their A team players in for B team, so I'm a little confused. But hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry about this, you guys. I'm really sorry. These games might not even count. One second. Mahendra, Kieran, Hunter, and Jordan. Okay, that should be fine. Gerber, good to see you, man. Okay, I'm just trying to figure this out really quick. there's somewhat of a dispute, I guess you could call it. I think okay, I think this should be fine. I just wish we could have changed it. Maybe a little bit sooner. So this game, Grandmaster won, but who is he playing? Oh, he was playing Boom Boom Boom. Okay, so that's going to stand for sure. And MIT is getting a first point. So that's good. For them at least. I shouldn't be falling. So, okay, here's another game. This is Game Guru against Bugabode. So, board 4 against board 1. Game Guru really low on the clock. Looks like he should be okay. Bugabode's up a pawn, but also up a lot of time on the clock. So that looks about right. So let me change this for ASU. So let me just change it here. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. There it is. Let me update it. So Grandmaster won. So this is board 3 from MIT. Daniel got a point. And then I don't see, these are the only 2 games that I have, but they had a bit of an issue starting. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so where the other games are, I'm not sure. I don't know if they've started their games yet. All right, so we've got a game here. This is the board 1 from ASU's B team against board 4, Quasar from MIT's B team. So William Quozo from MIT, he did really well against Cornell. Ended up going 3 out of 4. And yeah, Bugabode also did really well. 3.5 out of 4 actually. So these might be the 2 players to look at in today's match. Bugabode expected to win here. He's a top, player for MIT. He's got just 2 clean pawns to work with. He's gonna have to bring. Can you bring the king in here? No, you dropped out with check. So maybe the king's gonna have to step over. He's got not a lot of time. 15 seconds. All right, so he brings the rook back because he wants to get the G pawn into the game. He could push again. No, he's bringing the king in, threatening mate. And this time there was no rook takes with check, so still threatening mate. This is not looking good for white. I mean, it's just lost, but All right, the pawn's gonna push. No, okay, this pawn's gonna push. That's fine. Okay, let's look at Quasar's game here. So this is William. Again, he went 3 out of 4. So we'll see if he'll carry some of that momentum going into the finals round here. So he only lost to the board 1 against Cornell, and here he is against the board 1 Mahi from ASU's B team. And it looks like Mahi's up an exchange and a pawn, which is pretty good. Quasar could grab this pawn back though. Instead, bringing the knight, doesn't want the rook to get to c2, I suspect. So closing the c file, and also attacking e4. So the knight takes on d4. Rook is hitting the knight. Alright, so the knight just comes back to f5. Mahi's still up. 3 points of material, an exchange, and a pawn. So should be good for black here. And let's look at Hunter of Kings. They just started this game recently. But as you can see, ASU has different ratings for their boards because they're put in terms of their strength as opposed to their actual rating. So I know a lot of these players have FIDE ratings that are not really reflective of their online blitz. So teams can put the players in any order really. So in these kind of team matches, all 4 players from one team will play all 4 players from another team. So really, it doesn't matter too much the order. The only thing that the order changes is the oh, I don't see. Okay, let me get the clocks in. 1 second, you guys. But yeah, the only major thing that the clock changes, I mean the boarding changes, is the like the order in which you play and whether you have white or black. So some people would argue that's a big difference. Okay, so yeah, I apologize about the clocks not being there. I'm adding that right now, but it's because I had some weird, I want to call it a glitch, I guess, maybe, with the sizing of the board. So I had to redo everything like just before this. So I apologize for that. And yeah, I don't know why that happened. But that was really interesting. So if you go and resize your boards, you've been warned, because it might not work right. Let's look at Quasar's game. Here. It's not perfect, but as you can see, Quasar is down a lot of time, 5 seconds, and he's having to deal with some issues. That's a mate in 1 threat. Knight here? No. Check, check. You could win this knight. I mean, you could just take the knight right now. Or check, check, and then, okay, well, it's just winning for black. So Quasar's going down, but like I said, went 3 out of 4 yesterday and only lost to board 1. So this is ASU's board 1. So lots of potential left for William here. Okay. Bugabode for MIT got a point, so we'll put that on the board. So it's 2-0, but there's 2 games left in this first round. All right, so Mahi gets a point. Board 1 from ASU. And last game of round 1, Hunter versus Super Pie. So Super Pie is board 2. He's been messaging me a lot during this first round. Unfortunately, he's been having to play and communicate at the same time. But fortunately for him, he's got this really strong pass D pawn, which looks pretty good. Hitting the rook, opening up this bishop on this diagonal, trying to get a rook trade. So the threat is to take here. Now queen's going to come here pretty soon. Maybe king here might be needed. The queen might be trying to get onto this diagonal or get to this square instead. I think this pawn's either really good and really strong, or it's going to be a liability. So black may be in time to get here and to be able to stop the pawn and to win it, and then white will be down a pawn. But that being said, I do like white's position. Like queen here, for instance, right now looks really strong, I think, because the king's not going to be able to come out, right, once the pawn retakes. And so it's the knight's job to guard e8, and then the bishop can come in and try to promote and win a piece. Okay, so queen to e5 was played. Not going for e7. So maybe something was wrong with queen e7. Well, both David and Mahindra both won their games. It was board 1 against board 4. So David played against Jordan and Mahindra played against William. And they both won. So they both got 1 point. So I mean, if that's wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's right. So yeah, and let me fix the yeah, that's another thing. Eventually I should be able to provide you guys a way from the scoreboard to know like who's who. So I'm just gonna have to keep repeating. But Superbye is from MIT. Hunter of Kings is board 3 from ASU. So Hunter is Hunter. That makes sense. And then Superpie is Bryce. All right, so this is the last game in the first round, and what ended up happening, white won a pawn there somehow. Let me go back. So pawn for pawn, check, and then grabbing another pawn here. So you got a 3-on-2 majority on the king's side. All these pawns are on light squares, so this bishop can target all of them and be happy about it. This pawn's hanging right now. You could push it again, I guess. Maybe not. Just bring the bishop back. Pinning the knight, so queen gets out of there. Looking at dark squares. This queen's really boxing out the knight pretty well. Even in this square, still boxes out all the forward movements. So the knight is hopping back, rerouting to f6. And now this queen's going to have to find a new home. Dropping back to d2. There's a check in the position. The queen moves. I'm not sure where exactly the plan is to go. But there's a check. That's a free pawn. Take that. Ooh, missed. That would have been huge because this is a pinned pawn. So Hunter of Kings missing this tactic. And Hunter's got plenty of time here. He can try to go for it again. If King steps to the side, this pawn will fall with check. Not going for it. Ooh, and see, look, Black finds the same tactic. There's a check, though, to think of. And then the king will have to come out here. But there's no check back because the knight is currently hitting this checking square on e5. So queen's coming out here. And yeah, looks like black just got the pawn back. So now white has a worse pawn structure on the king side, but this king's definitely a little bit more exposed. Is that a pawn worth grabbing? You're going to have to calculate all these different checks. Actually, queen here wins the bishop. Missed. Oh, man. That was a big fork to give up. So black, not a lot of time here, only 15 seconds. But is there a mating net coming up? Ooh. I would be scared. If you go to g4, there's f5. So here, knight check. Oh, man. You come here, there's always repeat. Super pie. Oh, stepping into it. Well, that hangs the knight, unfortunately. Okay, but getting the bishop back. But there was that fork present earlier that didn't cost the knight. So what's going on now? Can you push this pawn and win? No, just grabbing another pawn. Well, okay, white's definitely favored here. You could try to push this guy now. Going after this pawn. There's block with check, and white should be able to win this easy because there's no defending the f pawn. You're going to have two passers. So very rough go for black, unfortunately. Yeah, this guy's just queening. Good technique from white, I guess. You know, very lucky black didn't find that bishop fork on the second rank. So that's a point for Hunter. So it's tied up still after the first round, and we've got Mahi and Grandmaster. They've started their game as soon as they were ready. So this game's about halfway done. Yeah, games are happening simultaneously. It's just the first round was a little weird because some of the players started a little later. But yeah, after this game, all the rounds should start at approximately the same time. So we just had two more games start. This is Boom Boom Boo. I believe he is the board 2 herein against Quasar, William Quozo, board 4 from MIT. So yeah, he's a strong board 4. Like I said, last match he went 3-0 after losing the first game. So we'll see if he can try to repeat that as best he can in this match. All right, so d5. I could see white playing d4 here. Just kind of preventing black from playing d4. But also, you know, just taking control over the center is pretty standard. We've got these two fianchetto bishops kind of sizing each other up a little bit here. We've got c takes d and now d4. Okay. Now, this is an isolated pawn. Black could maybe play something like c4. Actually, what am I talking about? There's an e-pawn. All right. I'm waking up apparently. All right, this pawn is pinned as the knight has moved, which opens this bishop's eyes a little bit. What exactly is the threat? not so much of a threat with this move. You're not really threatening to capture. And in fact, if black captures here, then this becomes an isolated D pawn. But I think white should be fine to just develop the knight. Really the last piece. Okay, going to c3 should still be fine. What if takes now? No, just taking on c3 first. Okay. Yeah, and black's gonna maintain this this pressure, going to develop and add some more attention to d4. You don't want to take and trade off dark square bishops. White would be happy to trade this off because this is a key defender of the king here. Let's go back to Mahi's game. So board 1 from ASU against the board 3 Daniel against from MIT. So both players won their first game. Mahi's really low on the clock here. There's a check. Queen here hits the bishop and is really aggressive. What to do here is as black. Rook here is gonna come next. Yeah, this is a problem. This bishop's gonna have to go somewhere really passive. I guess you could come here, maybe, and then that blocks the rook from getting to d7. I like bishop here. Okay, so bishop c6 played. c3, a very, time burner move. Kind of, I mean, maybe not time burner, but kind of like a passing move, I guess I should say. Okay, rook comes all the way back to d1. Now this bishop's kicking out the queen. Queen's hitting the rook and the pawn. You can play queen here, defends both. Now, white's moving really quickly. Black, as you can see, is taking their time, but now they're going to be very low on the clock as well. So there's a pawn. This pawn's going to try to push out this bishop. So the pawn comes up to stop that. And yeah, now both sides are under 20 seconds. Okay, that's a big skewer. That's a big skewer. That was a threat that I did not see as well. So black's going to have to play quickly here. Move to one of these squares and yeah, now you're down in exchange and a couple pawns. These are 3 connected pass pawns on the queen side. There's a pawn with check. This is not looking good at all. There's another. Yeah, this is game over. So, well, I mean, okay. Queen's going to come here. Rook's going to come here. So, queen here maybe. Preventing. Well, there's always going to be. Maybe bishop here would be good. Queen here stops this, but 1 second, 3 seconds. Black is fighting here. There's no discovery checks. Okay, mate threat. Yo, how do you stop mate? Check. Perpetual? Bishop to be okay, queen no. Okay, yeah, bishop takes is better. Holy smokes. You could do rook takes. Oh, snap. Self-mate. Dude, okay. Rook takes would have been the way to go here. Queen takes, and then I don't know, queen here, but you got 3 passed pawns, low time, but definitely not queen e3. Might have been one of the only ways to mate yourself in one move there. What a find from black. I was proven wrong. I was pretty sure I was saying that this was game over. GG. And look at this very beautiful bishop h1 threatening mate on g2. And looks like black should have tried to bail out with a perpetual in this position. Instead, giving up the f3 pawn might have been smartest, actually, for white, because I'm pretty sure it's still 1 here for white. Like, white should be able to defend mate and win here, especially if you just get rid of this, right? Take the bishop, or even just rook to g1 should be fine, because you've got so many pawns. But yeah, queen to e3 and queen g2 mate, and that is grandmaster going 2-0 against ASU's top board, giving MIT the lead here in round 2. So what an exciting finish to that game. Both sides pressured by the time. Let's look at another time scramble here from Bugabo, the board 1 of MIT, and Hunter with over 3.5 minutes here. Pretty comfortable time edge, and up a pawn now as a result of that trade. F4, I'm not sure what exactly that was, and this king's very exposed here. Grabbing a pawn, I don't know if there was time for that, as maybe the queen, I don't know. This knight is covering some very important light squares from the bishop and the rook entering, right? So this guy's pretty good. The problem is this guy is very exposed. So it's even material. White just grabbed on b7, but this rook is not really doing much. I guess you could develop with a tempo, right? Because the knight's guarding this a4 entrance square of the rook, but at the same time, you're going to probably get mated in one move. So, yeah, white has issues on the king side for sure. There's a lot of activity that you have to be aware of. I don't know, but it's not good. Something like queen here, maybe. Or yeah, queen here is also pretty good. So that threatens rook check. In fact, I mean, you could, I guess the queen's always in time to come to g4 to defend and help out at least a little bit. Okay, so the queen comes back defending the rook. The issue, just besides king safety, is it's mainly the clock, I think. There's really no good chance to defend when you're down like this. So black's just trying to pry open this king side. White's gobbling up some pawns over here, but okay, this queen is showing a lot of maneuverability, playing on both sides of the board, coming back when needed. Oh boy, takes here, and what are you doing about that? Your queen's hanging. That's not gonna cut it. Queen check, queen block. You lose the queen, you lose the king, you lose the game. Oh, that was with check, but still, you're down a queen here, unfortunately. So yeah, takes, and you can resign. Just hope for this check, right? Queen here. Not with 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I give Hunter. Okay, there's a passed pawn. You can give check and grab this pawn now. No. Pushing the pawn. The queen's here in time. I guess knight here. Yeah, takes. There's a queen with check. Look at this sneaky bugabode here with less than 10 seconds. Now the king has to find its way through. Hold on. Dude, if the king was here, you could promote. Queen takes. There's a check. But unfortunately, that trick did not present itself as the king came to e7 instead of e8. So what is going on here? If king here, knight takes with check. Queen can't take because then promote with check. So, okay. You still can't take the knight though. What a tricky defense that white has found here. Now the king can step up, right, to c6. Oh, and discover check. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, king takes. White could have maybe tried bishop c7 or knight c7 for something. If queen takes, then yeah. Oh no, that's with check. Never mind. All right. So Hunter gets a point. So both board threes here, 2-0 to start. Both taking down board ones from the other team. Now let's look at William here from MIT. 2 seconds left on the clock, but boom, only 19 seconds here. But yeah, this again, we've got a very strong passed B pawn. What is black gonna do about that? White's not even messing with it right now. Just trying to help the other pieces get better. There's a check. There's a check. You got to block with the queen now. Is this dropping? No. Okay, this is a pinned pawn. Now it's boom in the time pressure. Okay, lots of pressure here. This pawn's pinned. This pawn's pinned. There's a check. You can block with the queen here. And that also threatens this. Well, okay, what's going on? I guess that pawn would have fell. Yeah, this pawn. Oh yeah, no, the queen's guarding right now. But if you wanted to trade the queens off, the bishop was attacking it. Ooh, take here for sure, because you've got f7 with check, and don't forget about this pawn too, right? Well, that could be just a free pawn. Oh my goodness gracious! There's a queen. There's another queen that wasn't taken. Is there mate? Okay, yeah, there is mate. Right here. Okay. Wow, what just happened here? Quasar ended up winning this with white. No, with black. Unbelievable. So board 4 here, taking down the board 2, and we got 1 game left. So yeah, William gets his point. Just like yesterday, lose the first one, win the next one. So we'll see if he'll continue that streak. Here, both sides very low on the clock. What's going on? White's up a whole queen. Black is hoping for a perpetual. Are they gonna find it? I don't think so, as this king is running around trying to find shelter and safety. The queen will be persistent though. The pawn falls, so that's 1 point back, but your checks are running out. In fact, I don't think you have any. So coming back, this pawn's gonna fall. The queen's also very strong here. There's a pawn. There's a pawn. There's a check. Yeah, white's just winning this. That's a free queen. Alright, well, that should have been taken, but it wasn't. So, Super Pi wins for MIT. Board 2 here. So, MIT grabbing the lead. ASU not able to keep it tied. So now MIT has a 2-point lead, winning that round 3-1. Okay, so we've got the start of round 3 here. ASU, they're going to have to answer back here. They're definitely the favorite to win. They have the rating advantage, but they did have a bye last week, and MIT's coming off a hot win yesterday. So they're a little bit more warmed up. Maybe they're more pumped up for this. ASU, they're undefeated so far, 4-0. I believe MIT is 5-1. Didn't William lose that game? No, William was playing as black. William was black. It shows the white pieces because that's what he's captured. So Boom's on the bottom because he had white. So black won this game. Black won this game. William, he got the point. So here's William again against Hunter. Hi Frap. How are ya? MIT is listed first. Well, I apologize. Um, uh, for the scoreboard, whoever's left or right does not have any bearing as to who's playing as white and who's playing as black because they switch colors. Um, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Yeah. All right. So, what do we got here? White. White looks pretty comfortable with this setup. Um, Black's got the Fianchetto Bishop. White might be looking to trade these off. Okay, so there's some pressure on c3. Okay, the knight's just coming in to d5, and black takes it immediately. So now the question is, which way do you take? And do you take here first? Or do you take like this? So lots of questions. And it looks like William was just ready. So you got to take here first with the rook. And now you have 3 different ways of capturing back. Okay, takes with the rook. So rook takes, and then probably c takes, because you want to open up the c file for your rook. So Hunter's playing this pretty quickly. Seems like he knows what to do, or what he wants at least. And maybe he'll have some sort of pawn majority on the queen side and try to get some passed pawn somehow. Okay, so the rook comes back, so leaving this rook on a very active d5 square. This knight could come and try to kick the... Well, the knight can't come to b6, not right now. But maybe knight to f6 could be played here. Although this does block your bishop. That being said, you can't really kick the rook out this way because that drops the d-pawn. So maybe you just are going to have to live with this knight here. I mean, this rook here. And white has a bishop pair. And pushing through with b4. Now, immediately contesting the c file, and white is just pushing on through with c5. So this pawn is pinned to the knight. So the knight could come to f6 with tempo on the rook, right? And that would unpin the pawn. Can this rook stay on the 5th rank? I don't think so. So maybe the rook's going to have to leave the defense of the c5 pawn. Takes. There's so much support over c5. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Okay, so if this bishop were to ever move, this bishop can come to h6 with a skewer of the 2 rooks. So that's something to keep in mind, right? Pawn takes, bishop to h6. And you're going to have some problems. So if takes, that means you have 2 options, pawn takes or rook takes. And if rook takes, rook can trade, and then the bishop could take back, hitting the pawn on e7. So I wonder if Williams looking at this. Okay, so Williams instead, he notices rook to d2 leaves the rook on c1 hanging. So this pawn is also pinned. So maybe black is going to double up here on the c file. Maybe white will follow suit as well. Frappuccino, I'm not playing games right now. Sorry, bud. Don't ask the same question more than once, man. I can see it. You just ask me once, okay? All right. Oh, that was an old game. So we still have all 4 games going on here. Let's look at... Well, we were here. So the bishop's coming in, attacking this pawn. What's going on here? So Mahi, board 1 against board 2. Super Pi. Trying to get a trade in. I don't think you could really prevent this trade from happening. So, okay. Knight's coming in, hitting the rook. I wonder if just rook to c1. Maybe this is a fork threat, but white can always trade queens off first to get out of that. But yeah, this is one way to try to prevent the trade from happening, I suppose. So yeah, knight e3, queen takes is pretty much forced. One of these two moves. So here black will decide if they want to keep both rooks on or just one. So okay, taking with the f rook. And now this rook's under a threat. So okay, moving to e1. Now taking on c1. Oh, and now you can trade rooks off this way. That's if black thinks that they have a better position. But to be fair, I think this is pretty drawn. It's dead equal material. Maybe the knights are better than the bishop, but you know, because this pawn right now is under attack, so the pawn's gonna have to move, and now this knight is gonna try to find some activity and hit both of these. So basically, these knights are closer to the queen side where all the action is, and so these pawns are being forced to move, and now this knight's gonna have to defend the base point here. So maybe the second knight will try to find its way over and target this. So maybe bishop back all the way, but it's very passive, but it works. It blocks out the knight. Okay, so now this knight's coming in hitting the bishop, right? So you see how pesky these knights are. Just every move there's just a constant threat. That looks like a free piece there. Super Pi missed that, it seemed. So now you're just down a whole piece. So yeah, missed that threat. That was unfortunate. And looks like Mahi should be able to comfortably win this one. Let's look at Bug Abode. This is the board one from MIT. David, he lost his second game against the strong board 3 Hunter from ASU. So let's see how he can bounce back from this. Bishop g4, I like that, hitting the queen. Offering queen trade here. Interesting. So queen takes, rook takes. So the king steps up, hitting f6, and then also, you know, bishop or pawn might be coming to f5. But the rook and bishop are there to protect it enough. Okay, so e3 is a threat, and this is a backwards pawn. It's going to be very difficult. Yeah, I don't know if you can spend the time to defend this. Maybe like a move like rook to e4, threatening rook takes on d4. So the bishop comes back, guarding over e4 a little bit. The king steps up to offer some more support and also defends the rook. So this was a pinned pawn. Low time here for Bug Abode, but some of these MIT players can play with like little to no time left and be okay seemingly. All right, so the rook is taken back and not trading. The king steps up, defending e7. So white probably going to trade both of these off here. And I don't know if I like that because boom, boom is up a pawn in this endgame. Same color bishops, just down a pawn. And yeah, these pawns are on dark squares, so this bishop's never really going to be able to target it. But black has the pawn majority, and they're able to push through. And maybe white would have preferred to keep at least one of the rooks on to help your chances. Let's look at Hunter versus William. So Hunter is 2 for 2 so far. But it looks like William's just up a whole rook here. My goodness, what happened? William playing decisively well. You just gotta get rid of that first loss, right, against board 1. So we were watching this game earlier. Okay, look at this move. Bishop to b5, taking advantage of the fact of the pin on the pawn, and now the rooks are coming through. That was a free bishop. So right here, this was the tactic. So even though white seemingly did well to attack that pinned pawn, they missed knight to d7 because both of these bishops are lined up with this rook. And there goes a bishop. And then, oh, did I say just up a rook? They're up a knight. Apologize. All right, well, look at all these pawns. Oh my god. There's no pawns for white. There's got to be some mating net. Where's the net? Rook here. Or okay. Yeah, white's just push the pawn. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of stalemate. Okay, boom boom beat Bugabode. So that's Kieran. He got his first point. Yeah, looks like white's hoping for some sort of stalemate. Come back. Rook back, nah. Yeah, I mean, that's your only move. I'm looking for a way that you could sack the... Oh, that's tricky. No, but there's no stopping me now, because everything's going to come with check. All right, so... Oh, wow, all the games just finished at the same time. So William getting his second point. Let's see here. Mahi, board 1 for ASU, getting their second point. And Game Guru taking down Grand Matzer. So that evens things up here. Game Guru's the board 4. So Grand Matzer, Daniel, he's been doing pretty well. Undefeated so far. Losing to board 4 for Jordan's first point. Man, so we're all knotted up at 6 here. Even match, and it's all going to come down to this 4th round. So just straight up boards 1 against board 1, all the way down to board 4 versus board 4. So, yeah, we'll see both sides. MIT's board 3 and 4 leading with 2 and 2. And ASU's boards 1 and board 3 leading the way. So the board 3 versus board 3 is going to be an interesting matchup. Both of them at 2 out of 3 so far. And we have that game right here starting out. So black going for hypermodern defense, just focusing on kingside development. Probably going to castle kingside. Nope, just keep on developing. Preparing for e5 potentially at some point. Okay, a6. So none of black pieces have gone on to the 5th rank yet. We'll see if white castles. Man, I just realized I said white castles. I don't know if you guys like white castles or not, but I saw a YouTube video that they made like 30 of the white castle things from scratch. I don't know if you guys watch Binging with Babish, but just a quick shout out to him and his YouTube channel. But anyways, let's see. Back to the chess. I don't know why I just thought of that white castles thing just from saying that, because I'm sure I've said like white castles before, just never connected it with the fast food. Okay. Yeah, both sides delaying castling, but white's definitely gonna go kingside. Probably same with black. Let's look at the board 1s here. So Bugabode, I think, just lost their last game. So down to this last game here, we'll see how he does against Mahi. Yeah, so rook to b1, getting out of this diagonal, and also just preparing this b4, b5 pawn push. So a6, maybe in anticipation, and actually white's just going one square with b3, probably going to get the bishop onto b2. Okay, so bishop b2 has been played. Knight to d5 is going to be coming at some point, I suspect. And this rook is here to defend the bishop on b2. What else is there? Maybe knight to d4 as well could be played, hitting this bishop. Okay, rook to d1. Maybe rook to d8 from black. Okay, interesting. Bring the queen back. I'm not sure what the plan is with this. Maybe... Yeah, I like knight d4. Just hitting these light squares. So maybe just bishop back. Should make sense. Bishop d7. Black does have the bishop pair here, but they're thinking about it right now. Do you want to maintain it? What's the downside? I guess, I don't know, maybe you could have like e5 tricks, right? Hitting the knight and saying if d takes, this knight's going to hop back. And then, actually no, the knight's defending the bishop. Yeah, so e5, not ready, not really a good move. I wouldn't recommend it, but f4, preparing for e5 could definitely be a threat here, a strong move. This queen, though, is definitely on this diagonal, so maybe e5's not even ready at that point because takes. Okay, f4 and e5, takes, queen can take. So it's 2 pawns for 1. It would be a gambit of some sort, but I don't know. Maybe the queen doesn't want to be lined up with this bishop. And also, yeah, you have to make sure that the knight is guarding this bishop as well, because white has 2 attackers on the d file. Okay, just starting with h3. Interesting. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if h3 was really necessary there. But Mahi's up a lot of time. And black just responding pretty quickly. Rook from f to d8. So I like that a lot. Definitely extra support over the bishop on d7, opposite the queen. But yeah, f4 is definitely a move on my mind to play here. Let's look at another game. Let's look at the board 4s here. William against Game Guru. So Jordan just got his first point for ASU in the last round against board 3. Daniel. So giving Daniel his first loss of the match. And we'll see if William can... I mean, he's putting a lot of pressure on this king side. Look at all these knights just swarming around like bees. I mean, look at that. Just knight straight in to f5. No fear. I mean, this is a pinned pawn, so bishop takes, knight takes. I mean, you just got to do knight takes. And now, I don't know. Yeah, Quasar, definitely huge time advantage as well. And black is in a knot here. Bringing this knight back. I'm not even sure if the knight is doing anything. And it's definitely not going here anytime soon. So really commanding position from white. I mean, just attacking everything. Maybe the knight's going to have to come back to b7, or maybe you need rook to b6. Yeah, I guess this knight really needs to find... I don't know. So this bishop's defending pretty well. Yeah, knight's coming back to b7. That's just kind of sad. This bishop, though, worst piece for white, for sure. How to contribute, it's hard to say. Maybe white needs to go h4, h5, bishop back, and try to do something. Okay, so the rook's coming in, hitting the queen, but now the queen... actually, I'm not sure. I'm still not even sure what's going on in this position. I just know that white's the one that's playing, and black is defending. It's not too pleasant. Let's look at the board threes here. Arguably the best performing players of both teams so far. Really cramped here for white. Look at this pawn structure from black. This is really, like, where's this knight going? This knight's never gonna play. These rooks are... What's the king doing? Like, the king's, I guess... I don't know if you want to do a king run. But, I mean, black is just gonna open this up. And white's not gonna be prepared to defend. This king, I don't know what it wants to do, but I guess king d1, knight to e1, king to c2. Is there time for this? And the knight on e1, like, what's it doing there? And where's it gonna go? And how are these rooks gonna play? This is almost like Alpha Zero-esque, right? You know, like almost computer style. Just such a cramping position where, like, the pieces are on the board, but they're not playing. They're not contributing. It's actually really sad, white's position here. But yeah, black is opening up, and I'm not sure what white's gonna do about it. Okay, g4. I feel like you could take... Can you also just push? Maybe you could push. Taking on g4. There's a lot of weird things going on here, but I am a much bigger fan of black's position. Takes, knight takes, queen to h5. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, so William won his game. And there's mate next. So, oh man, okay. Yeah, this is not a good move. Especially with the... I liked the bishop on h8 because it was very annoying to keep this here. So bishop to g7 was the losing move from Game Guru. So, okay, we see this queen's coming in. What if queen here, king back to one of these two? I mean, not here, but okay, going here, but now I don't know. This is going to open up, and it's not going to be good. Let's get the point in for Williams. So again, he repeated exactly like yesterday, losing the first game, winning the next 3. So very strong board 4 from MIT. Okay, just attacking this piece. Queen's here. The other rook's going to come here, and now this queen's trapped. Okay. Oh, rook here. You win the queen back. You push here first. You're threatening to take and promote with check. I love this. But you could have done like queen king takes. But yeah, white's fine here. White's fine here. And everything untangles. And yeah, at the end of the day, white has survived the storm and comes out up a pawn. This honestly kind of looks like a draw to me. Unless this king can come over. No, you just take that. Okay, what? I don't agree with that at all. Giving up a pawn. Yeah, white's found some much needed activity. However, see, like here, or there first, then here. Okay, well, I respect it. There's check. And if king's gonna come back, and now you come over here, the king has to step up. Okay, white arguably could be happy with the draw in this position. King here, rook here, or check. I don't know what's going on. Let's look at board ones here. So Mahi 18 seconds, Bugabode 6 seconds. What is going on? Trying to get this rook out of here. Rook saying, I think I'm going to stay on the 8th rank. Black has a check. Oh my god, this looks so close to checkmate. Oh, the bishop's covering here. Oh, big fork, big fork. Man, that rook had to stay and defend. Unfortunately, there's no mate anymore. But it looks like black could have weaved something with that king stepping up to g3. Rook to h3 or g3, I like it. If rook takes, then the pawn's promoting. Oh, double fork. Oh my god. Mahi getting both rooks with that same knight. Man, oh man. Boom Boom won his game. So Mahi gets a point and Boom Boom gets a point. So that's a huge swing for ASU. So that means that they have at least a draw, and MIT has to win this game if they want it to go to OT. Are we going to see ASU offer a draw here? Because it looks like, well, Hunter's not going to get it. He's down 2 pawns. Now 3 pawns. And you can push this. Oh, no, I thought the rook was guarding, but no. Oh, boy. Is there a chance to draw? I think we're going to go to OT, folks. Yeah, there's no way you can stop that. Check. Check. Yeah, picking up the mate in 2 or 1. My bad. Wow. Okay, so Grandmaster wins, and this thing is not over yet, folks. The board 3 from MIT, again, getting a crucial win here. And yeah, we're heading to OT, so you guys should know the drill by this point. We're repeating round 4, except switching colors. So if you had white, you now have black, and if you had black, you will now have white. So same opponent as round 4, just switch colors, and instead of 5-2 time control, it's 3-0, no increment. Which college is ASU? Arizona State University. No, ASU does not have to lose twice. This is the final match. This is winner takes all. No, so you guys have the wrong time control. Hunter and Grandmaster. You guys need to do 3-0. Alright, so they're going to restart that game. So, yeah. Just waiting on round 5 to start. We've got this dramatic 8-8 tie to break here in OT. So here we go. These are the board 3s. So looks like Daniel was able to beat Hunter. We'll see if Hunter's going to be able to answer back and You can already tell these players are playing much faster. Here we got the board 4s again, so William was able to win. These are pretty even ratings here, but their ratings aren't truly reflective of their playing skill. And plus, you know, there's no more increments, so there's always a chance for the flag. Always a chance. So black is castled. White's getting ready to castle. Black getting that queen in just to be annoying, preventing castling. The knight's coming in though. There's a trade. Queen takes. Now the queen's gonna have to get out of this diagonal. So stepping back. And now white can actually castle either which way, deciding to go short side. And yeah, black's got this isolated pawn here. Could potentially be a weakness in the long run. We'll see if white wants to target it. Looks like it will be. Okay. What if... Oh, the pawn. Okay. This knight has no good square. Okay, there is c5. Okay. All right, let's look at the board 1s. Bugabode lost to Mahi, so it'll be interesting to see if Bugabode is able to get some revenge here. Here, I think just bishop takes or... Okay, develop hitting the queen. Queen to e7, most likely, is my guess. You want to make sure you're defending f6 still, and now either take or come back somewhere. Okay, so hitting this knight. Maybe like, yeah, rook to c8 looks good. Okay, just doubling up here, but, you know, the queen's still opposite the knight, so maybe this knight's gonna go somewhere. Okay, pinning the knight. That's got to be somewhat annoying. And now knight to g4 looks pretty good. Although maybe this knight to e4 is also good. Yeah, pretty even position so far. What's going on here? Okay, hitting the queen. Takes back. The knight's under attack. The knight's coming in. This bishop maybe you could take, or you could... I don't know. This king looks a little exposed, but all the pieces are on the queen side for black. And white is swinging around here, so this knight is pinned to h7. Cannot go back to f5 because the pawn's here. So I like white, actually. Okay, actually, you know what? I should change my mind. But, okay, hold on. This pawn's pinned. This pawn is pinned. What if, like... Okay, just... Well, now knight takes. Oh, man, that was winning the exchange. You still have knight here. Oh boy, you have rook here too. White threw this away. I mean, yeah, this is bad. Rook takes and knight is a huge fork, so okay, threatening this, but I think it's too little, too late. That's a resignation, man. Boom, boom, boom with the first win. Huge point here for Arizona State, taking a point. The first point in round 5. 3 games left. Here's board 4s. So Game Guru down on the clock, but up 2 pawns, or a piece for a pawn. So white's favored, but I mean, you gotta... Oh, that's a fork threat right here. That's a big pawn to grab, as this is pinned, unfortunately. Okay, so defending the fork, but this is a huge knight. Yeah, white is definitely up, but you never know with this clock. I mean, Game Guru has no increment. He's going to have to figure something out here. This is a big check to give. Okay, hitting the rook, also threatening check, maybe even rook to f2. Rook f2, is there going to be mate for black? Check, king over to the side. I don't know if I like this check. But William has chances on the clock. Oh, the rook falls a check. There's at least a perpetual... No, rook here's mate. Oh my god. Game Guru with no time. And Quasar tying the match. So not over yet, folks. We've got 2 games left. Let's look at, this is a board 3 match. What's going on here? Hunter's got no time. Grandmaster could flag him. And what's... Oh my god. Yeah, he's got no time. There's no way he's gonna come back from this. Black's just pre-moving, as they should. And that's it. So Grandmaster gets a point. Oh, and Mahi won. Hold on. Mahi won. I think it's still tied, people. I think we're going to have to go to round 6 tiebreak. So Mahi gets a point. And Grandmaster gets a point. So Grandmaster wins against Hunter. So the bottom boards for MIT are pulling big time, because I think, yeah, the boards 1 and 2 for ASU are winning. Boards 3 and 4 are winning for MIT. So yeah, so basically the next round of tie breaks is the same thing except bullet now. It's 1-0. You switch colors again. So it's the same color pairing that you should have had for round 4. So here in round 5 you switched, and then in round 6 you switch back. But this time it's 1-0. So you guys, this is it. This is like game 7, all right? This is the finals. There's no more matches after this. Both of these teams fighting to the last breath here in this finals match. Winner takes all. Double OT. Bullet. 1-0. It's going to be crazy. What is going to happen here? What happens if this round's a tie? Good question. So this hasn't happened before, but we do have a rule in place for that. If this round is tied at 2 each, and they're tied at 12-12, then they go to an Armageddon match between the board 1s, and that favors ASU, as their board 1 has been beating MIT's board 1. So we'll see. Who's gonna break first? It's bullet now. No increment. The board 3 and 4 for MIT has been carrying. The boards 1 and 2 for ASU have also been carrying. So we'll see if one of them will finally snap in this matchup. This is the 3rd game that these players have played. Man, they're playing so fast. I mean, they have to. I like how White's doing it. White's doing pretty well here. It's still an even position, but definitely slight edge to White, although White's thinking here. This might be a thing. Okay, so yeah, getting off this diagonal. White trying to get a flight square, although it's covered for now. 30 seconds each. What is going on? Okay, opening up the D file. Knight takes, probably. No, just kicking this bishop back. Going for this trade. They do trade. Okay, now rook takes or knight takes? Rook takes. You could have considered taking here, the knight, I think. Okay, now the knight's pinned every which way. I like black, and White's going to be thinking about this. Oh, look at this. Oh, wait. You could have had knight takes and defend your queen, but you're losing on d1 is a problem. So black's definitely the favorite here, and also on the time as well. So looks like, well, oh my god. This passed pawn. 2 passed pawns. Okay, and you got to watch out for back rank mate, but Boom Boom's got no time. Oh, he's going to flag. He's got no time, so Super Pi wins. And that's his first win against Boom Boom, so there's a point. Let's look at the board ones here. Is that going to be different as well? What's going on? The bishop pair against 2 knights. The time situation favors Mahi. There's a big check. These are 2 strong pawns. White should win this, given the time clock as well. So let's get the point for Super Pi. Bryce. So, okay. Two seconds each. What? There's a fork. That pawn was going to be grabbed. Oh, oh my god. Oh, Mahi's going to lose this one. Oh my god. So Bugabode wins. Bugabode. That's huge for MIT. And here, Hunter wins. So it's all down to this last game. MIT's up by 1. Can Quasar win this? He's up so much time. Oh my god. Does he have pre-moves enabled? He's okay. There's no way that Game Guru is gonna win this. There's no way. Yeah, you just any burner check. And look at that. MIT wins. Quasar getting 5 points out of 6 rounds. Unbelievable. ASU goes down, their first loss of the match. I think Bugabo got a point too, right? Yeah. Just his second point. So double OT. MIT takes it home. A hard-fought victory over the undefeated previously ASU B team. They were 4-0 to get here, and that's their loss of the season. So give it up to MIT. Taking it home in the bullet match, the bullet portion. And yeah, it was definitely very exciting. A lot of players have been complaining about the tiebreak rule format, but anyways, yeah, this MIT team, I don't know, I had my doubts when they were playing Cornell, particularly in the first round. They were down 3.5 out of 4, so they fought hard to get here, and yeah, definitely well deserved. ASU, probably not the result they were hoping for, but this was close. ASU is definitely one of the strongest rated teams in Division 3, and MIT, I think they were rated like 3rd, or I mean not 3rd, like 8th. Hold on, actually I could look it up. Oh, MIT was 13th. My goodness, that's where I got the 3 from. They were 13th out of 16, so this was definitely unlikely from the start. And these guys, I mean, as you could tell, William Cuozo, I think he might have been like the lowest rated player out of all of them, and he ended up getting the most points out of anyone. So super strong player on board 4, and definitely you could argue a difference maker, keeping them in it, you know, at key times. But yeah, ASU, really tough team, definitely very strong players, just unfortunately met their match today, taking 2 overtimes to do it. So congrats again to both teams, really. Yeah, of course, obviously MIT for winning, especially starting off at 13th place out of 16 teams. And congrats to ASU for getting 2nd place. So pat on the back there for sure. And yeah, that's it for D3. So Division 3 is over, and I think there's only one match left in the entire league, and that's the D2 finals.